అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. నా పేరు రాజా కస్పూర్తి. నేను న్యూజెర్సీ తానా రీజనల్ కోఆర్డినేటర్ గా చేస్తున్నాను. అట్లాగే ఈ రోజు ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి మనం అనిల్ గాంధీ గారు ఇవాళ $1.9 ట్రిలియన్ యుఎస్ మన స్టిమ్యులస్ ప్యాకేజ్ కొత్తది రీసెంట్ గా వచ్చింది. దాని గురించి మనకి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడానికి ఉత్తర అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం తానా ద్వారా ఈ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ మీద ఆయన ఆల్రెడీ ఇంతకు ముందు 4 నుంచి 5 మన ఆల్రెడీ ట్యాక్స్ సెమినార్లు, పీపీపీ లోన్ల మీద, స్టిమ్యులస్ ప్యాకేజ్ మీద సెమినార్లు చేస్తున్నారు. ఈ రోజున ఇవాళ మెయిన్ మన ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఏంటంటే $1.9 ట్రిలియన్, ఆ $1,400 స్టిమ్యులస్ చెక్ ఇట్లా అట్లాగే రెస్టారెంట్లకి, వాటికి, స్మాల్ బిజినెస్లకి ఎట్లా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది, దాని నుంచి ఏం బెనిఫిట్ అవ్వగలము కమ్యూనిటీ ద్వారా మనము అవి చెప్పడానికి మన ముందుకు వచ్చారు. ఈ అవకాశాన్ని ఇచ్చిన మనకి మన తానా ప్రెసిడెంట్ జయశేఖర్ తాళ్ళూరు గారికి, అట్లాగే తానా ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ వైస్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ అంజయ్ చౌదరి లావ్ గారికి కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుకుంటూ, అనిల్ గారి గురించి నేను చెప్పాల్సిన పని లేదు, మీ అందరికీ తెలిసిందే. ఏజీ ఫిన్టెక్స్ అనే సంస్థకి ఆయన నడుపుతున్నారు. ఆయన దగ్గర ఇట్స్ ఎ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ సిపిఎస్ they have, and if you guys have any questions, మీకు ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే కనుక కింద చాట్ బాక్స్ లో టైప్ చేయండి. Anil garu will answer all the questions at the end of the session, and also you can reach him at his contact number. He will display his contact number also. Please reach him for any further questions. Okay, if you have any questions during the session, please post it on the chat box so he can answer all the questions. Thank you, Anil garu. Thank you for joining, and thank you for providing all the information what community needs. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Raja garu. And as usual, my thanks. So as usual, my special thanks to Tana leadership team and to the president and the vice president also. And thanks for giving the opportunity to share my knowledge with my community members. I'm so privileged to share my knowledge here. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen, and from there we will go. Good evening everyone. Thank you very much. Thanks for this time, and thanks for your time on a weekend. I know that how busy everyone is in the weekends, but thanks for your time. So let's get on to the topic. So this is our latest announcement made by our president. This is the biggest bill passed by our President Biden after he is elected as the President of America. So today we will try to do some insight review. We'll try to do some deep dive of what is there for individuals, what is there for the business owners, and we will try this. So in this webinar, I'm trying to share my knowledge, my interpretation from this newly introduced act. And this act, considering the last 1 year experience working within SBA, IRS on all the PPP and ADL, we do also expect a lot of changes from this act now, because they keep issuing notices, clarifications, announcements, so on forth. So please, so whatever I'm saying today, it is valid as of today. They may come and do some changes maybe after a week. So just so that before you implement, before you follow any of the guidance, please check with your CPA or tax advisor or financial advisor, or you can contact with me just to ensure that the act is still, there are no major substantial changes. So before getting into the topic, I always say that we need to know with whom we are talking. So it's me, CEO of, excuse me. Excuse me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. My system got hanged. Apologies. And I am back. I'm sorry for that. So most of you guys might be knowing already, knowing me already. I have 15 plus experience as a CFO, controller, and and also in other senior finance executive positions. I worked in Amazon, Starbucks, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Sun Edison. I have been helping business owners on tax planning, tax return filing, and CFO services, and also wealth management services. And we do also have a team of CPAs, chartered accountants, and other finance professionals. So you can see my name, my articles in the Forbes, healthcare industry, restaurant industry, and MSN, and also in CPA portals also. And I do also come on TV channels every week. I exclusively talk on tax planning strategies. There is a playlist available in YouTube. You can look into that later if you have when you have some time. Let's get on to the topic. So in the last couple of months, after Biden has taken oath as a president, he has keep changing. He's keep working and he's doing a lot of changes. He's bringing a lot of changes. After he took the oath in the month of February, he done a substantial changes to the PPP, considering for small business owners or Schedule C tax return filers. And after that, he also signed American Rescue Plan, which was signed on March 11th. And now the PPP deadline is March 31st. We are expecting an extension there, which I will cover it later in this presentation. So what does the American Rescue Plan help? What is the breakdown of this $1.9 trillion the rescue plan, ARP? So if you see majorly it is taken over by our individual stimulus check payments, $1,400 for every person, and also unemployment insurances and unemployment payments, and also some loans to the business owners. So let's get into the deep dive. First, I will start with the individuals. So what are there for the individuals? If you're not a business owner, or even you are a business owner, this might be applicable for you. So you are expected to receive $1,400 check. It is a stimulus check as part of the round 3. And if your income is less than $150,000, you should be getting a check for every person in your home. That is you, your spouse, and also your adult kid also. Even your kids are more than 18 years, still they can on their name of, as long as you are showing them as a dependent in your tax return, you can get a $1,400 for them also as a rebate check. Then on top of after $150,000, it starts phasing out. And if your income is more than $160,000, you are not eligible for this round 3 rebate check. And this rebate check is they are giving checks based on 2019 tax return. If you have already filed a 2020 tax return, they are considering a 2020 tax return, provided if the IRS already processed your tax return. And then the next very big change is child tax credit. In general, in general, every year, whenever you're filing tax return, you might have realized it. In general, we get a tax credit $2,000 for every child we have. And for now, from this year onward, the IRS has done a substantial change here. What they say is, instead of $2,000, you may get up to $3,600 if your kid is less than 6 years old. And if a kid is more than 6 years old, then you can get up to $3,000. And this credit is completely tax refundable. It means if you don't owe anything to IRS will pay. If you owe any taxes to IRS, they will knock it off this credit with the tax liability. If not, IRS will give you cash to you if you don't owe anything to IRS at all. And other very important thing is, this year they are also going to give as an advance. If the sale tax credit, we claim it at the end of the year, but now they are going to give 50% of the eligible child tax credit amount. They are planning to give it as an advance after June 2021. So you may be getting as an advance also now. Then the other big change for the independent individuals are dependent care assistance. In general, for every kid, if the kids are going to the daycare, and if you incur any expenses for the nanny or daycare expenses, you can claim up to $3,000 as an expenses towards dependent care assistance when you are filing your tax return. But now this $3,000 is substantially changed to $8,000 now. So $8,000 child tax credit, yes, sorry, dependent care assistance you can get per person. If you have a 2%, it is $16,000. And unemployment, extension of unemployment. In general, as per the recent CAA Act, which is Consolidated Appropriation Act, the unemployment benefits should stop from the additional unemployment benefits should stop from March 14th, 2021. But now they extended to September 6th, 2021. And the biggest change happened now here is the first $10,200 per person is completely tax free if the income is less than $150,000. And if you have a joint filing, if you're doing a joint filing, and if there are two members in your home, husband and wife, if they both are getting unemployment benefits from the government, the first $20,400 is completely tax free. This is applicable for the last year also. If you already filed a tax return, nothing to worry. IRS is going to process the refund for you. You don't need to file an amendment for this. But this is a very big change, a very big announcement, which is a tax free. Unemployment benefits are tax free up to $20,400 per family. Now, let's get into small businesses. What is there for them? Small businesses lending options. First, we will talk about PPP. You all are very much familiar with the PPP loan program. Even I gave a few webinars with Tana on PPP loan program. So what are the major changes happen now? In PPP program, they added $7.25 billion additional funding to the PPP program. Initially, it was $284 billion is allocated for the PPP round 2, the entire package, round 1 and round 2, which was introduced in the month of December, end of the December of last year. Now they added $7.25 billion additional funds to this program. And now they also added a few more, they also extended their support to few more organizations like non-profit entities, and also if there are non-profit entities and also internet publishing organizations. Earlier, these entities were excluded from the eligibility, but now they added those organizations also under eligibility criteria. On top of that, March 31st is a deadline. Coming March 31st, within the next 10 days, it's a deadline to apply for PPP loan program. But there is an extension request already in the House, and it is already approved by a House. And the coming next week, it is expected to go through Senate and also for the President for their approvals and for the signatures. And the other very big change announcement happened from the PPP in the last 1 month is individuals, Schedule C, 1099 contractors can file, or sole proprietors can apply for a PPP loan program based on their gross income, just based on the sales, not even net income. Earlier it used to be net profit, but now it is a gross sales. So if any of you have part-time income, maybe real estate or insurance agent, financial advisor, freelancer, anything, or even if you might be a 1099 IT contractor, you all are eligible for PPP loan program, and you can get up to $20,833 tax-free money. And if you need any help, I'm happy to do it. I'm just helping a free service to the community in getting the PPP loans for the sole proprietors. And economic injury advances loans. So you are familiar with the EADL. I'm not going in detail what is an EADL. If you are when you applied for EADL loan last year, you are expected to get $10,000 EADL grant or EADL in advance. But many people didn't get it because they started giving only based on number of employees you have. Maybe one employee, two employees, five employees. So instead of $10,000, you might have received 1,000 or 2,000. Now they are filling the gap, and it is called targeted EADL advance. But it is not for everyone. It is only for the low income community members, and the business should be impacted by 30%. These all were discussed in December CAA Act, which was passed by the Trump just before he was signing off from the office. But now there is some additional changes have come up. $15 billion are added to this EADL advance fund by Biden, and they are also giving the supplemental grants. On top of this $10,000, whatever they're saying, few organizations might be eligible for this supplemental grant, which is a brand new one, and you don't need to apply for this application yet. We are assuming whoever already applied, and if they are under low income community, and if they have less than 10 employees, SBA is expected to reach out to you for this supplemental grants. Through the supplemental grants, you will be getting $5,000 additional on top of whatever you already got. Forget about that. They are giving $5,000 extra, but your business should be impacted by 50%. Your employees should be less than 10 employees, and you should live in a low income community area. If you meet all these criteria, SBA is going to reach out to you, and we are yet to get a lot more details on this supplemental grants. Now let's get into the grants. What are the other grants government is giving? The most popular now one is Restaurant Revitalization Fund Program, RRF. This has become very popular now. Like last time, PPP has become so popular in the entire program, but now in this $1.9 trillion package, this has become very popular. So why? So now just I will look into what are the top highlights. These are completely tax-free grants. So you don't need to pay any taxes if you get this grant. And who all are eligible? Restaurants, bars, and associate food and beverage related businesses are eligible for this grant. And what is the eligibility criteria? You should have reduced revenues in 2020. Total grants allocated for this RRF program is $23 billion. In that, $5 billion is allocated for the very small business owners, small restaurants, where their revenue was less than $500,000. And an individual restaurant is eligible up to $5 million grant and to the maximum of $10 million. An example, if we have multiple locations, each location can get 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, but the maximum is 10 million. Sorry, up to the maximum of 5 million, each location is eligible, but the maximum a business can get is $10 million. So if you don't have any businesses, if you don't have any locations or something, it is $5 million. If you have multiple locations, its maximum is $10 million. And what is the criteria at a very high level? Whatever business you lost in the sales, they're giving you that money. An example, in 2019, you had an income of $1 million. In 2020, you were running your restaurant and you had a gross receipts for only $600. $600. So the difference, $400,000, is you are going to get as a RRF funds. So restaurant funds grant. So now let's get, and this is the first come first serve basis. So you need to be really proactive. This is not opened yet. You need to be very proactive to apply for this restaurant grants. So now let's do a bit more detailed diving. So who all are eligible? So the eligibility criteria: restaurants, food stands, trucks, saloons, inns, and bars, lounges, and any other places where the business is running and the primary purpose of the business is being served food or drink. If you are having, it's the business primary purpose of the business should be serving the food. If that is the case, then you are eligible. And they also say that if your business is located in an airport, that is also included. That is also considered. So these all places are considered as a eligible entities for restaurant grant. So who are not eligible? A state and local government businesses, and as of March 13, they should not have March 13, 2020, the business should not have more than 20 locations. And it shouldn't be a publicly traded company and have not yet applied or applied for SVG, I mean, Shutter Venue Operator Grant. It's not even applied, it's not even open yet. But in the future, they're saying that if you apply for a Shutter Grant, this restaurant grant you cannot apply. And this 20 restaurants is the 20 locations. The definition of 20 locations includes affiliate businesses. What is an affiliation? If you or your business has at least 50% shares or controlling power in any other restaurant business, that is considered as an affiliate business. So you and the affiliate together, you should not have more than 20 locations as of March 13, 2020. Other requirements. So what are the other requirements we have? So must have pandemic related revenue loss. So it means your business should go down from 2019 to 2020, and PPP loan proceeds would be reduced from the grant amount. So it's like, as I was mentioning in my earlier example, 1 million was the revenue, 600 was the 1 million was the revenue in 2019. In 2020, revenue was only $600,000. Now, what is your grant amount? Is $400,000. What there is, if you got any PPP loan, please reduce that amount. It is like if you got some $50,000, if you got $50,000 in PPP. So instead of $400,000, it would be only $350,000 is what your grant amount. And the very other important is good faith certification. You have to certify stating that your business is impacted because your business is impacted and there is an uncertainty of current economic conditions. So you have a financial hardship. That's what they're trying to say. And the necessity is to support the ongoing operations of the eligible entity. You definitely need money from the government to support your business. So you have to certify it. And no safe harbor rules. Like for the PPP loan, if you got less than $2 million PPP loan, which by default it is assumed you are in need of funds, necessity of funds. But now for the restaurant grants, you have to certify stating that you need funds. There is no safe harbor rules. So okay, how much money you are going to get? An amount is equal to pandemic related revenue loss. So whatever revenue you lost because of the pandemic, you are going to get that money as a grant. And the revenue loss must be demonstrated. It means you have to show your bank statement and you need to prove that your revenue is lost. And in any one legal entity, the maximum amount you can get is only $10 million if they have multiple locations, and $5 million is per location. And this restaurant grant will be distributed directly by SPA. There won't be any bankers, mediators in between. Just like EADS, you can directly go to the SBI website and you can apply for that. And so now we will do some calculations how it works. If your business was opened before 2018 or prior, then this is what step number 1. Take 2019 gross receipts minus 2020 gross receipts. Step number 2, reduce by PPP1 and PPP2. If you got any money, reduce that money. After that, whatever the revenue difference you have, that is what your grant amount is. Then, if the business was started during the 2019, so then what happens? So then, if the business is started in 2019, what they say is take the average gross receipts for the 2019 and 20. It means take the total salary, total sales divided by 12, or how many months it is. So, and again for the 2019 and also for 2020. And now do this difference for this minus 2019 versus 2020 and 2019 monthly revenue versus 2020 average monthly revenue, do the difference, then reduce PPP1 and PPP2 if you received anything. So that is how you need to calculate 2000 if your business started in 2019. If the business is started in 2020, or you just started a business, then because you don't have any comparison, what they say is, okay, whatever expenses you have, expenses minus gross receipts. If it is in negative, it means your expenses are more, sales are less. If that is the case, they will fill the gap, the vacuum. They are going to fill it, but it has to be reduced by PPP1 and PPP2 loan amounts again. And we on this part, if the business is recently started, we are yet to get a lot more details because the application is not yet open. So okay, once you get the money, how do you spend this money? Okay, you got $400,000 through restaurant grant. How you are going to spend this money? Incurred, you should use this money only to maintain your business operations. You can pay payroll cost. You can do the monthly EMI and principal payments. If there are any mortgage obligation, and you can do the rental payments. You can do the lease payments, utility payments, maintenance expenses, and if you need to spend some money, like maybe some furniture, fixtures, equipment, anything, those things also included. And food and beverage expenses, operational expenses, paid sick leave. If you are giving leave to your paid sick leave to your employees, that is also included. And these are in simple terms. This money can be used for operating your business. You are not expected to do a lot of capitalization. You cannot use this money to buy a company, to acquire a company. No, this has to be used for running your business. And once you get this money, you have to use the money by December 31st, 2021. Otherwise, you have to return back your funds. So this is very important, and this may be extended by 2 years more. But as of now, this is what they also say that based on the pandemic condition, they may extend it. But at this point, you have whatever money you are getting, you have to use the money, entire money, by December 31st, 2021, and for the operating of the business expenses, or business operating expenses. Then priority. So they are also giving some priority to some organizations. So they are first, after they are opening up, the first 21 days they want to prioritize to the businesses which are owned and controlled by women, owned and controlled by veterans, and socially and economically disadvantaged businesses. First 21 days they want to work with them on priority. Then PPP versus RPF. So what happens now? Because they are reducing the PPP amount. So because still you have time to apply for PPP, is it right to apply for PPP or no? My recommendation is go and apply for PPP. Don't stop applying for PPP. Whatever money you are getting for PPP, please directly get it, because that is dollar to dollar. So just get the money from the PPP. After that, you apply for restaurant fund also. Then if you have to deduct PPP, then deduct it. That's it. So deduct the PPP later. Deduct PPP loan amount from the restaurant grant later, so that the balance amount only you will get it as a grant. But please go and apply for PPP loans. Don't stop your PPP loans because you are waiting for restaurant grants. Then what is the application process? So these entire are being managed by administered by SBA, and you have to apply for this grant on on the SBA's website, and it is not yet opened. So we are still waiting. SBA said it will take couple of weeks. The announcement came on March 10th, 11th. So then they said they need couple of weeks. So I am expecting maybe in April they will be opening up, April first week. And considering my experience with the Shutter grants, I strongly recommend everyone to go and get Dun and Bradstreet number. It is a credit score for the business. If you don't have it, please initiate that work. It is required. It is required to get any federal money as a grant. Then, so now what is to be done? There are 1 million plus restaurants are there in United States of America, restaurants and bars, and they are giving this money on first come first serve basis. And these grants are direct money. It's not loan. You don't need to apply for the forgiveness and all. You don't need to go through all the process. So definitely this will become very popular once they start issuing the money. And other thing is, you can apply for this grant even though you start the business in the mid of the 2020. But for the PPP loan, you are not eligible to apply for PPP loan if the started after February 15, 2020. So the competition will be very high. What you need to do is, come on, get ready, get all the documents, and if required, start working with a professional so to help you to streamline everything, ensure that all documents are ready. Whenever SBI is opening up application, you should be go and apply it. That is about the restaurant grants. I hope I was explained as detailed as possible. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me questions. Then, shuttered venue operators grant. If you are a theater owner, if you are theater owner or live venue operator or live performing arts organization operator or motion picture theater operators, if you're running a movie theater, okay, you come under shuttered venue operators. I believe you are already familiar with the shuttered venue operators, so I'm not doing a deep dive into that. But what are the changes come? They have added $1.25 billion funding into this shuttered venue operators now, and they have given some more details. They clearly define who all are eligible now. This is one of eligible company, eligible organizations, and they mentioned publicly traded companies are not eligible for this shuttered granted venue shuttered grant, and they also say that if any one of you meet any of all these three conditions, then you are not eligible for shuttered grant. It is like if you are working more than in one country, and if you have more than 10, if you have operations in more than 10 states, and if you have more than 500 employees, then you are not eligible to apply for shuttered grant revenue. And so, okay, so when it is going to start? It is going to start on April 8th, 2021, and you have to demonstrate minimum 25% reduction from 2019 to 2020 in any quarter. So to apply for this, to be eligible and to apply for this shuttered grant, and the business has to be in operations as of February 29th of 2020. And how much money you are going to get as a shuttered grant? 45% of the total gross revenue earned in 2019. So, like, if example, you had a revenue of $1 million as for your movie theater in year 2019, flat 45% of gross revenue you are going to get as a grant. And this is the first round. You can even go to the second round also if the funds are still available. SBI will be calling back again for the application, and you can go for the 50% of the first grant. Whatever money you got, again you may be eligible to get 50% more again based on the funds availability. And the launch date is April 8th, 2021. Okay. So then, okay, this is a latest announcement. If you are familiar, you are not supposed to apply for PPP loan if you want to apply for shuttered grant. But the recent announcement has come up. You are eligible to apply for PPP1 and PPP2 also, but you should direct that money from your shuttered grant. If you are thinking whether you get a shuttered grant or not, if you're not familiar, if you doubt, just go and apply for PPP now. Just get the PPP loan amount, whatever is there. PPP is open till March 31st. Go and apply for PPP, get the funds. That amount, let them direct from the shuttered grants, and they have also given a lot more. SBI has also given a lot more clarifications on eligibility criteria. So what they say is publicly listed companies are not able to operate, and these are in detail. I'm not going in detail, so but you can look into the details. But what they say is if you have more than 500 employees, you cannot apply for them. That is about the shuttered grant. So we covered PPP, we covered EADL, we covered shuttered grants, we covered restaurant grants. The next one is ACA and COBRA. Affordable Care Act. This is exclusively for the business owners, you should know, and also individuals. So, as per generally the open enrollment by marketplace, which is an American affordable care, as per the Affordable Care Act, government gives insurance policies, health insurance policies through marketplace to the local people. And generally the open enrollment period ends by end of the last year, but now they are reopening the open enrollment period because many people lost jobs in the last 1 year, and they are extending the open enrollment period up until May 15th, 2021. So, and other thing is, if you are if you okay, and this premiums, whatever money you I'm sorry, your premium, the monthly insurance premium may go down substantially based on your income limits, because government is taking care of the insurance premiums to support you. But it depends on income levels. But if your income is too high, as per their calculations, then you may not get any subsidy. But if you are not, if your income is a bit lower, as per their records, then you may get a subsidized marketplace, and it can be even free also if your incomes are much lower. So please check your marketplace website if you are getting the health insurance policy from your marketplace. Then COBRA. You might be familiar what is a COBRA. Generally, COBRA is an health insurance benefits for a terminated or employees who left. So now what what SBA says is, they are reopening that. Okay, they are allowing employees, ex-employees or terminated employees to opt in COBRA even after the deadline. Generally, once you left the company, within 3 months or 6 months, you have to opt in. But it was expensive, so many people don't opt in also. But now SBA says, hey guys, you go and opt it. I will pay the fees for you. So SBA is taking care of, IRS and SBA, they are taking care of your COBRA insurance premiums. If you were terminated because of the in the last 1 year, not because of any other reasons, like if there are for any specific cause, like you did some wrong in the business, that's what they terminated you, then you are not eligible for COBRA. Otherwise, if you are terminated because your project is over, if business, whatever because of the COVID, if business is impacted because of the COVID, then you are eligible for COBRA, and you can apply for that. And the beauty here is, employer has to pay those COBRA insurance premiums, and he will get a reimbursement from the IRS through the quarterly Form 941. This is a very big change, and government says that every employer has to send out a notices to notifying employees of their rights. So whoever left your company in the last 1 year, you are obligated to offer COBRA to your employees. So you have to send notices to them, and you need to open up asking them, come on, they can sign up. And employer has to pay the insurance. After 3 months, when you file your Form 941, you can get the credit back from IRS. Small business credits. Okay, that is about other credits. Now we are getting into small business credits. So, State Small Business Credit Initiative. This program is there for a very long time, but in the last few years, it is not active. Now, what government is saying, $10 billion is allocated for this State Small Business Credit Initiative program, and they are giving the powers to all the states to launch some programs to the small business owners who are impacted by the COVID, because of the COVID pandemic. So you need to state the funds are allocated, the total $10 billion are allocated to all the states, and you need to stay tuned with your state specific initiatives. You can see that you can continue to track CDFA website. In CDFA website, you can check into that. As of now, I checked already. There is nothing open yet, so you need to continuously check to see what state government, what benefits you are going to get from your state government as part of this State Small Business Credit Initiative. We don't have any details at this point on this program. Child care funding, child care relief funding. If you are a child care business owner, if you have a child care organization, child care business, and $39 billion are assigned exclusively for the child care business owners, and there are different types of funds they are allocating, and again these funds will be monitored, administered by the state department. You can just Google search child care support initiatives by the state department. For every state there is a there is a there are there will be announcements. As of now the announcements are not yet open yet, because no state has announced what child care benefits they are, what benefits they are giving to child care business owners. And these funds, these stabilization funds, has to be used for paying employees, paying rent, facility maintenance, mental health support, assist customers. Example, if few of your clients or few of your students are not able to pay fees because of whatever the reason, because of the pandemic, then these funds can be used to pay their fees also. So, and that is like employee for what do you call, it's like some kids wants to come to the school but they don't have the money, so that you can use this program to fund them so that they can pay your fees. So we are yet to get a lot more details on this, and stay tuned for your state specific announcement. Every state is coming up with their own rules, so you need to stay tuned with your state specific announcements. Then paid leave and sick leave, paid sick and family leave credits. If you're familiar, these leaves were supposed to be ended earlier, but now they extended to September 30th, 2021. Earlier, it used to be up to $10,000 a person can claim, an employer can claim up to $10,000 as a family medical leave, but now it is increased to $12,000 per employee. And the base calculation. And they are also added two more regions to issue to you paid sick leave, that is COVID testing without symptoms. If your employee wants to go on leave because for the testing purpose, or vaccinated related leave after taking the vaccine, or to take a vaccine, or after taking the vaccine he is not well, if you are giving leaves, paid leave to any of your employees, you can claim those amounts for $511 per day per employee. You can claim as a payroll tax credit towards this paid sick leave. Then employee retention tax credit. You might be very much familiar. Employee retention tax credit is nothing but it's a refundable tax credit which IRS is giving you to ensure that you are paying your employees. You are keeping your employees active. And it's how does it work? I have given this presentation earlier on this topic through Tana and Corona Bus. You can get up to 70% of the qualified wages in the quarter, or $7,000 per person is per employee. You can get employee retention tax credit. Earlier it was supposed to be end on Q2 2021, but now they extended to Q3 and Q4 also. In other words, per employee $7,000. For 4 quarters in 2021, you can get up to $28,000 per employee. If we have 10 employees, $280,000. If we have 50 employees, approximately $1.5 million you are going to get as an employee retention tax credit. This is a very big money. Please don't leave it if you are eligible for this. To become eligible, your business has to be go down by 20% in any quarter. Then okay, then the other very big change one more big change has come up is, if for ERTC calculation you do the comparison between any quarter in 2020 versus 2019. I'm sorry, that is for the 2020. For 2021, any quarter in 2021 versus 2019 quarter. But now the very big change has come up is, you can even do this eligibility calculation based on preceding calendar quarter. It means in the Q1, if you're Q1 2021, if you're not eligible, it's okay. Go back to the previous quarter and check if you are eligible. If you're eligible for based on the previous quarter, then also you can go and claim for employee retention tax credit. And so these all are major changes. And as the new announcements are keep coming, every Wednesday I am doing a Facebook live on my Facebook page, AZ Fintax. You can join there every Wednesday, 3 p.m. EST, 12 p.m. PST. You can be there. I will continue to update you what are the changes have come up. And for all of you, if you want to download, I have written a book on the guide to select overlooked medical deductions. If you are not familiar, what are the medical, you've been to a lot of medical expenses. Is there any way we can claim all those deductions? Answer is yes. Based on different entity structures, there are different ways. I summarized all my notes into this booklet. You can download this booklet just by using this link, or you can open a camera, just scan this barcode, you get a pop-up, click the pop-up, you can download this booklet. And this is a free booklet. Definitely, I strongly believe this is very useful. We have written this book based on my experience after looking into many tax returns. Business owners are not claiming these benefits. There are a lot of thousands of dollars they are leaving on the table because there is lack of guidance. So I strongly believe that this will be very useful for you. And this link, I will share it in the Q&A in the chat box. And we also file your tax returns. If you want our services, we are very much happy. We are offering 15% discount up to April 15, 2021 for filing your tax returns. And free personal financial planning. So we offer free personal financial planning to all my clients, and all IRS and audit notices we take care for all individual tax returns. And if there are any SSN issues in the future, wherever it is, those SSN issues also, our insurance will cover your SSN issues also. So if you need our help on the tax return filing, we are happy to help you. And as I mentioned, PPP loan program is going to end by March 31st, most probably, with the current dates. If you are a small business owner, please don't miss this opportunity. You are 1099 contractor, please inform, share, spread this news to your community. Every 1099 contractor is eligible to get this PPP loan. So they can get up to tax-free money up to $20,833. We are happy to help you. We don't charge anything. We are just helping the community. Please spread this word. And I am opening up the Q&A, and thank you very much for the opportunity to Thana. As usual, you are great. It's a great leadership team. And you can schedule a meeting if you want a help on shutters grants. If you want a help on restaurant grants, you need to be on top because it may open up at any point of time. Restaurant grants may be opening up at any point of time. You can just schedule a meeting with me. I'm happy to look into this scenario, and I will happy to guide you. Yep. And okay. I just got the stimulus check of 2,800 for myself and my 5. I didn't get for my 2 kids. How do I get the stimulus check for my kids? Kalyana Garu, if you have not yet received stimulus checks for your kids, you can claim it when you file your 2020 tax return. But I do also notice that they are giving the checks on installments also. I mean, you may get for your 2 kids also, you should be getting $2,800 provided if they have SSN numbers. So even you don't get it also, it's absolutely okay. You can file when you file your tax returns, you will get that money. And there's one personal message, anonymous. My kids were eligible for SSN, but I didn't take EAD for them. They are still on 19. I should be getting my GC in a couple of weeks. I am planning to apply for SSN for them after GC. Can I still get payment for them also? Answer is yes. You can get them. Let's get the SSN number. Then you might not get directly into your bank account now because as for the previous tax returns, they didn't have an SSN. But now, when you file your 2021 tax return, you can apply for this deduction. You can get this credit. And is IRS written tax return extend deadline to May 15th? Rajesh, yes, the new tax deadline is May 17th. One, two, 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 two. And I'm just sharing my link in the chat box. So medical direction booklet. Someone is asking me contact details. I'm just sharing my contact details again. And this is my calendar link to schedule a 30 minutes meeting with me. Just if you need any help on restaurant grants or shutter grants. 30 minutes, one on one meeting. So I shared all the links in the chat box, and I'm going back to my questions. Okay. Any assistance to the homeowners? Okay. Homeowners, yes, this is the, there is one announcement on the homeowners. I think I missed it out, home assistance. Homeowners. Okay, yes. For the homeowners, they announced they announced $15 billion for the home to support the homeowners, so that they can get they can claim the rental benefits. Sorry, if they are not getting any rental incomes, rental payments from the tenants, they can apply directly within SPA. But their announcement, we are yet to get a lot more details on that. So I was expecting SBA will be releasing yesterday on Friday. Generally, SBA releases lot of announcements on Friday late night. I was expecting that, but they didn't release any more details on that yet. So, and did IRS change how to check the stimulus payment on, status online, as it is not clear? Okay, IRS has not changed that process on checking the status. Everyone will get the money. No one needs to panic. If you don't get the money, you can claim that money by filing your tax return. So, but now there is no way. I know that I have been many of my clients are asking me, they are not able to see the status on the online. But IRS website is not great on giving the status update. So I want everyone to wait for that. But everyone should be getting money. Vikram. Hi, hello Anil Garu. I am not be eligible for $1,400 per person in my married filing jointly written based on my 2019 tax return. But I am based on my 2020 return. Will I receive when I file my tax return? Okay. $1,400 is based on, this is a round 3. And this can be claimed when you are filing your 2021. But if you file your tax returns now in 2020 for 2020, and if IRS process it, IRS process the salary, process your tax return, they may be able to give you $1,400 based on your 2020 tax return. If nothing works out, absolutely it's okay. When you file your 2020 tax return, you can claim it. So when you file 2021 tax return, you can claim it. Okay. Satya, how about student loan waivers? Student loan waivers, Satya Garu, I have not covered that because right now I focused more on the act is too big. I tried to focus more on the business owners and individuals. So student loans I have not covered. I didn't get chance to look into that. But you can send an email to me. I'm happy to look into this and answer. Shivaji, thank you very much for all the info. Shri, I am eligible for the third stimulus based on 2019 return, but not on 2020 return. Do you have to pay back the amount received in 2021 tax returns? Shri, you don't have to pay it back any dollar. Once you receive, it's received. That's it. You don't need to pay it back. Vikram, after taking the home mortgage forbearance for about 8 to 9 months, I recently started making the mortgage payments. Is there any help for the people who took the home mortgage payment forbearance? No. Answer is no, Vikram. And a personal anonymous message, all these stimulus checks are taxable or tax-free. I think I covered in my first slide, and they are completely tax-free. Thank you very much, Vikram Garu. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's it from my side. If you have any questions, can you elaborate, repeat about 1099 again? Oh, any 1099 contractors, IT consultants, real estate agents, insurance agents, freelancers, anyone eligible for PPP loan program based on their gross sales. Like example, you are an IT consultant, you are getting a 1099 for $75,000. You can apply for a PPP loan maybe up to $20,833 by March 31st. You can apply for that. It's free money, tax-free money government is giving. Every 1099 contractor should get it. It can be small, it can be big. Even you get $25,000 as a 1099, go and get your money, your share, $5,000 you are going to get. So, yep, and once you get the PPP loan,
Sorry.
there is a one.
Sorry, how is that calculated, Andy? Sorry, can you please repeat that again?
Yes.
How is it calculated?
The total sales or income. If it's example, in this example, your total sales is $75,000. You are an IT consultant. $75,000 divided by 12 into 2.5, which is $15,625. The maximum is $100,000 they consider. If it's $100,000 divided by 12 into 2.5, which is $20,833. You are getting tax-free money. Completely, it's free. You don't need to pay back. You don't need to give it to anyone. You don't need to pay taxes. It's completely free. Many people are not aware of this. Please spread this message to everyone. Please spread. And we are happy to help. We are offering a service to the community. Suresh Garu, we can help you. We can just file it for you. You don't need to pay anything for us. Just we'll help you. You can reach out to me later.
Yeah, one quick question, Andy. What about if there was no 1099 last year in 2020, but you have a 1099 in 2021? Still eligible?
21, you have not yet received, correct? But if you have an income, you can do it. Okay. There are 3 ways how you file your tax returns. Okay, no, but 2021, you don't have 1099. Sorry, I don't think you are eligible based on this. But 2019, that is eligible.
I see.
2019 1099 or 2020 1099.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yes, yes, you don't have to. Someone message me. Yes, you don't have to pay back $20,833. Just free money. Just take it. Government is giving. Please spread this news.
Anil Garu, in case if who doesn't have a 1099 in 2019, but they have in 2020, are they eligible for the PPP?
Yes. You don't need to have an employees also.
No. This is
Yes. They are eligible. Vikram, yes. Answer to your question is yes. They are eligible.
Okay, thank you.
So one more question, Andy. Let us suppose if the 1099 received in 2021 was actually for 2020. Imagine. I mean, the work done in 2020, receive a 1099 in 2021. Will that make
yes
as eligible?
Very much.
Okay, thank you.
అండ్ చాలా మంది ఏమనుకుంటున్నారంటే పీపీపీ అంటే ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉండాలి అనుకుంటున్నారు. అవసరం లేదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్. ఎంప్లాయీస్ బిగ్గర్ కంపెనీస్ కి ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉండాలి. స్మాల్ ఎంప్లాయీస్, సెల్ఫ్ ఎంప్లాయిడ్, 1099 కాంట్రాక్టర్స్ ఆర్ స్కెడ్యూల్ సి, సోల్ ప్రొపరేటర్, ఎంతో మంది చిన్న బిజినెస్లు చేస్తుంటారు. కిచెన్ లో హోమ్ డే కేర్లు కానీ, లేదంటే ఎక్కడ ఏ ఇన్కమ్ ఉన్నా, ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ డిస్క్లోజింగ్ ఆన్ యువర్ ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్, స్మాల్ బిజినెసెస్ స్కెడ్యూల్ సి అంటారండి. ఎవరైనా ఎక్కడున్నా సరే ఇట్స్ ఫ్రీ మనీ. ఈవెన్ 25,000 $25,000 ఇన్కమ్ ఉంటే $5,000 దే ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గివ్. $10,000 ఇన్కమ్ ఉంటే $2,000. సో డోంట్ లీవ్ ఎనీ అన్స్టోన్ అన్టర్న్. స్ప్రెడ్ దిస్ మెసేజ్ as much as possible. ఇట్స్ ఫ్రీ మనీ. ఒక్క 10 రోజులు అయిపోతే you will not get this lifetime opportunity for many people. Okay, there is a question from Sri. Thank you, Anil Garu. Okay. YTG Prasad, we didn't apply for PPP, but can directly apply for RFP is not the better. Okay. Prasad Garu, you can apply for restaurant grant also, but restaurant grants is not yet launched. How popular మీకు funds వస్తాయా లేవా అవన్నీ ఎందుకు కావాలి. PPP వచ్చింది కదా, తీసేసుకోండి. Whatever money you take it as a PPP, that will be deducted there. అంతే. Both are tax free. It doesn't matter. So I personally recommend apply for PPP, get the money first, whatever you have. దాని తర్వాత మళ్ళీ అక్కడ ఫండ్స్ అయిపోయాయన్నా, మీ ఫండ్స్ రాకపోయినా, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇష్యూ వచ్చినా సరే, యూ విల్ లూజ్ దట్ మనీ. సో PSG గారు will I be, so we don't need to repay, thanks, I couldn't apply for the last year, applied in the February, I applied in February. PSG, sorry, I don't know what the full name, but your question is not very clear for me to be. You can send an email to me otherwise. If you have not applied for PPP1, you can apply now. You can apply for PPP now based on 2019 numbers, 2020 numbers, or PPP. చాలా మంది ఏమనుకున్నారంటే బిజినెస్ 25% రిడక్షన్ అయితేనే పీపీపీకి వెళ్ళాలి. నో, పీపీపీ ఫస్ట్ టైం అప్లై అయితే అసలు ఏ రిడక్షన్ అవసరం లేదు. యూ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ ఎంప్లాయీస్, యూ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ బిజినెస్ రిడక్షన్, బిజినెస్ తగ్గక్కర్లేదు, ఇంపాక్ట్ అవ్వక్కర్లేదు, ఏమీ లేదు. స్టిల్ యు ఆర్ ఎలిజిబుల్ ఫర్ పీపీపీ. పీపీపీ ఈజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఏమంటారు, ఒక అద్భుతం, ఒక అద్భుతం. అది ఒక్కసారి లైఫ్ టైంలో వన్ టైం వచ్చే అద్భుతం. ఐ హ్యావ్ మెనీ క్లయింట్స్ హూ గాట్ మిలియన్స్ ఆఫ్ డాలర్స్ ట్యాక్స్ ఫ్రీ. ఓన్లీ చిన్న వాళ్ళకి, స్మాల్ బిజినెస్ ఓనర్స్ కి they don't know the awareness లేదు, so they are not applying it. But anyway, okay, so if anyone has any more questions, anyone has any more questions, happy to send an email to me. I'm happy to help whatever is required. Yeah, thank you very much then. Thank you. I shared my contact details, I shared my calendar link, I shared my email ID, I shared my phone number, everything I shared. And I also shared the link for my book, which is medical directions. So you can do that. That is very useful. And yeah. And the recording will be posted on Facebook. The recording will be posted on YouTube channel. So Thana team will be posting it. So my
thanks Andy.
Yeah, Suresh garu, I think someone asked me, I think small business for PPP2 అంటే PPP1 మీకు ఆల్రెడీ వచ్చి 25% రిడక్షన్ కావాలి. 1 రాకపోతే కొంతమంది ఏంటంటే 1 అప్లై చేయలేదు. నౌ దే వాంట్ టు అప్లై. నౌ దే థింక్ దట్ ఓకే, నో బిజినెస్ రిడక్షన్ లేదు కదా, ఐ కెనాట్ అప్లై నౌ. కాదు, PPP1 ఎనీవన్ కెన్ అప్లై, బట్ PPP2 మాత్రం 25% రిడక్షన్ ఉండాలి. అంటే నేను ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు అందరూ PPP2 గురించి ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు. PPP1 కూడా రీఓపెన్ అయ్యింది. సో దట్ విల్ బి ఎవ్రీథింగ్, ఆల్ డోర్స్ విల్ బి క్లోజ్డ్ ఇన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ 10 days. Yep. And if you have anyone has any questions, feel free to send an email, call me, anything, I'm happy to answer. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks to Thana as well. Thanks for this opportunity to share my knowledge. Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks to everyone.